Welcome back to Broken Bobby's transformation page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the title and the thumbnail, we kicked it off in the kitchen with the K11s. Now, in LA County Jail, everybody gets a certain distinction, different color wristbands, and I'd be lying if I said I know what all of them are, but I do know at the time I was doing time, excuse me, K11s were like homosexuals or transgenders. And they wore, I think it was a yellow top and blue bottoms. And that's how you could tell who they were. They were typically housed on the 5,000 floor, and we would deliver, like if I was on the breakfast crew, we would deliver out to them, and I've talked about that in previous stories. But in this particular story, this was in the actual kitchen. So what happens is you have, okay, so when you're serving chow, basically dinner in LA County, on the 5,000 floor, I believe it was, I'm almost sure it was the 5,000 floor, all the 5,000 floor inmates would walk to chow at that time. And you would have trustees that would work the line basically, and then up above there was it's almost like a tower in prison, but like not quite that high. But a lot of times there'd be a deputy up there with the pepper ball gun. And if you look around the dining hall, you would see spots where they shot those pepper balls, and it's really hard to breathe when they fire them things off. But you would, so the 5,000 floor would walk. I don't know if other floors would walk as well. I don't think so, because mostly every other place I ever was, they would just bring around the styrofoam dinner plates and drop them off, at the cells. But I think it was just the 5,000 floor that would walk. And we would get ready, and, either you'd be wiping tables, or you'd be working the line, giving them their scoop, or you'd be a linebacker, which basically when the big trays of food would go empty, you would pull it out and replace it with a new one. Well, so they would start walking them through, and in groups of like maybe 50 or so, they'd come through, you serve them, and then they'd be, the deputies would tell you, I don't remember how many rows of tables there were, but they were big, long tables. And, the deputy would tell you, okay, over here. And like, you couldn't say, I'm not going to sit next to this guy or at this table. Like, you sat where they sat you, basically. And you were pretty much rushed through the process of eating. Now, I never walked for chow when I was in LA County, but this floor would, for some reason. I don't know if they do it differently now. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm not sure. I haven't been in LA County in a long time. But, excuse me. But they would walk like in groups of 50 or so. They would come through, and then there'd be a short break, and then like the next dorm would come. And amongst the 5,000 floor, you would get the K11s, which, like I said, they were like transgenders or homosexuals, basically. The lead man used to say, Mira, the hyenas are coming. And I remember thinking, man, these are some ugly hyenas. But yeah, they weren't actually hyenas. It's a men's central jail. So they would come through. Like I said, the deputies would get them seated, and like they wouldn't give you much time at all to eat. And then, okay, pick it up. Take it back to the house, and you would go and dump your stuff in the trash can and go back. They'd go back to their housing unit. Well, you know, these guys were coming through, and the hyenas were coming again, right? So, as the lead man would say, and the thing about homosexuals, and nothing against homosexuals, to each their own, you know, do what you do, but they like to use that B word amongst each other. And, anybody that's ever done anytime, anywhere knows that, somebody calls you a bitch, basically, like you're getting off. It's There's no asking for permission. Like you're not going to take that sort of disrespect. So that's like the ultimate disrespect amongst standard male inmates, I guess you would say, general population types. And so they're coming through, and there was a very loud, obnoxious one, hey type, and the guy, like I was serving on the line. I think there were like 4 spots where you would serve on the line. One would give you your main entree, one would serve you like your vegetable, your potato, whatever it may be, cornbread. And so, I put my portion up there. They went on to the next one. They put their portion up there. And when they got to the last one, I think it was the main entree one, uh, the K11, the transgender, basically said, "Oh no, bitch, you didn't." You know what I mean? Like, give me my proper whatever. And dude that was over there wasn't having that. Like, he basically went to get off. But you got to keep in mind, there's this big stainless steel, like you'd see in a fast food type of thing, in between them. So he took whatever it was he was serving and flung it at the K11, and the K11 flung it back, and basically all hell broke loose. Basically, the way it felt was, it's like GP versus PC in this type of event. So race didn't necessarily matter. Like, we were trying to get off with these K11s, and they started yelling for everybody to get down, and it turned into a small melee right there in the kitchen. And I'll post some images of what the dining hall looks like, and what the layout is. But basically, the whole kitchen crew, like I said, I was a trustee the first time, and fortunate enough to become a trustee the second time. We all got rolled up over this, and we ended up back on the main line. But it was pretty chaotic for a few minutes. They started busting the pepper ball gun, and you just can't breathe when that happens. So, like I said, we got rolled up. Some of them got rolled up. It wasn't a very long situation, but it was a situation that went down, and I ended up finishing off my stay at LA County that time, back, in Men's Central and over in Wayside. Uh, Unfortunately, I lost my trustee status over that, along with everybody else that was working that day. And, the thing is that trustee status is good because, there's hustles that come with that. And like you eat very well. And when you're not working in the kitchen, you don't eat very well in LA County. So, it sucked to lose the trustee status, but at the same time, uh, you know, when you're under attack, you have to act. So, you know, just a quick story on when the trustees got off with the K11s in the kitchen. I hope everybody had a safe 4th of July and is having a great weekend. Like I said, this is just a short one. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and let me know what you think. And share this video. It really helps us to grow, and we're continuing to grow. And shout out to you guys for that. I really appreciate everybody's support. I know some of you guys have been rocking with me for a long time, and I thank you for that. So also you can become a member of the channel if you choose. Hit that join button and check out the different levels of membership. We're probably going to be putting together some merch here pretty quickly in the next couple of weeks. So we'll probably do some giveaways or something for members. And maybe we'll do some giveaways for people that aren't members as well. I'm working on it. So just bear with me, guys. Remember, family, fitness, and freedom are the things that help me get my life together, and they can help you as well. Remember to play the tape all the way through. If you're not sure about the decision that you're making, just stop and think about it for a minute. Where could this take me? How could this end up? There's consequences to everything, whether they're positive or negative. So if the consequences are negative and it could, land you in a place like this, you might want to think twice about it and maybe go another way with that decision. So I appreciate everybody checking out the video, and don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.